Hey guys, it's Tim with the Y here, Timothy Roy, and I'm here with another installment of Tuesdays with Tim. And I got to ask you a question. Do you ever feel like you're operating out of a sense of duty or obligation when it comes to being in a relationship? Well, I just wrapped up my coaching for today, and I just finished a session with a wonderful, wonderful gal, chiropractor, and she's going transitioning from the end of a marriage into a new life, and had this discussion around duties and obligation and how much she felt like she was basically at the mercy of her duties and obligations and how seriously that she took life. And where we ended up going with that is exploring this idea of where do duties and obligations actually come from, or what do they feel like, and how do they have ownership over you? So one of the premises that we ended up working together with is that it's okay to not be so serious in life, or to not take yourself so seriously yet still be responsible. So this whole idea of like, maybe I'm taking myself too seriously, and maybe, just maybe, there's a way to not do that yet still maintain responsibility. So what we were talking about in this particular case was, now that they're sharing the load between back and forth with the kids, is her feelings of duty and obligations as a mother. And so when we really explored this and deepened into it, I was like, all right, so if you had like the liberty, like the scales of justice, if you will, scales of liberty, and you had on one side, you were measuring the weight of all that duty and obligation and everything that comes along with the role of being a mother, and how your relationship is to that role, versus how do you just want to be? Like, how do you want to roll as a mother? Like, what is that all about? And which one of these has more weight to it? Which one of them has more gravity? And the funny thing is, when we first asked the question, she wanted to say this one, but she knew that this one was kind of weighing her down. So we ended up doing a little exercise in front of the mirror for her, and just help her to realize that, what I did ultimately is I had her stand in front of the mirror and I said, hey, look at that woman in the mirror. And who's that woman in the mirror? And is it the one that is going to let rules, duties, obligations, and that dictate how she rolls as a mother? Or is it more like, wait a minute, this is how I want to be as a mother. This is who I want to be. This is how I want to show up. And I'm kind of nutshelling a whole thing here, but what ended up happening is she was able to release this whole sense of duty and obligation. It's not that you don't have duties and obligations. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you still, take your life responsibly. But the whole idea is to let go. She's ended up doing, we were talking about the exact same event, but doing from a place of letting go of all of the obligations and duties and everything that came along with it. And just explored like honestly, like, how do I want to roll as a mother? Like, is this how I want to be? Like, do I want to, if I looked at it doing this event from this side, it has all this heaviness, and then all of a sudden that just evaporated. She's like, no, this is how I want to fucking roll as a mother. I want to be in this place. And yeah, people call it duties and obligation, whatever. But you know what? It's just what I want. It's how I want to roll as me in a relationship with how I want to be a mother. I don't want to talk about me, of course. I'm talking from her perspective. So, man, really super magical moment. And so, if you're feeling some heaviness around, feeling like duties and obligations, I'm going to suggest it's a real opportunity for you to explore, is there a way to let go of that ick feeling, let it go from your body, and explore just how, is this just how I want to roll? Because this is, this is kind of like the shadow side of this. And I don't get too much caught up in that whole shadow work stuff, because I think that's just yet another mind game that we end up playing with ourselves. Yeah, there's things to face. Yeah, there's things to release. Yeah, there's things to explore and make good with and resolve. But the shadow side, I think it just brings up a little bit, maybe triggers a little bit too much drama in some people. And yeah, I know I'm going to get a bunch of stink eye from people who do shadow work and stuff like that, but that's okay. It's all right. They don't have to be here listening to this. So, but let's give you the invitation to say, hey, explore how it is that you want to roll. If there's some area of your life that you're feeling kind of an imbalance between, or an abnormal tension around how you're feeling, what your duties and obligations are around something, maybe it's time for a little self-examination. Just say, how do you want to roll? Like, would this actually look the same if you actually came at it from a place that's how you roll? Or is this actually really out of alignment and there's something that needs to be adjusted? I don't know. Let's find out what it is for you. So if this was helpful, please share it with somebody, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, whatever buttons are on these things. That's not really my jam. I don't like all the social media jam, but you know what? I love helping people. And if this helped you, please share it with somebody. If it hasn't, that's okay. Move on, go to the next one. There's other videos out there. So with that, I want to thank you for your time today, and we'll see you at least next week and maybe before. All right. Bye for now.